at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome in to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to the sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. In the studio now, we have Taylorville Chief of Police, Chief Wheeler. How are you today, Chief Wheeler?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We're gonna get this conversation started with a recent press release I was reading out of DeKalb. We're gonna start talking about the Safety Act a little bit and kind of take us through that a little bit because an officer was killed in the line of duty there. So bring us through that.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that the person was released from custody, but that's the law today. Reckless homicide is not a detainable offense. So I'm sure the prosecutor and judge wanted to detain him, but they have to follow the rule of law, and unfortunately the law states that you can't. One thing about it we gotta understand is, we have to prove that this person is a threat to the city and others. And this person definitely was. He killed an officer. It doesn't matter if it was an officer or not. He killed somebody while he was drunk. He's definitely a threat. Now, there's conditions on his bond that he can't drink, I'm sure, but that doesn't stop him from doing it again.
Right.
Okay, so it's disturbing, but we have to adapt to it and move on. And I'm sure I pray for the family, and she had young children, and I pray for the departments. I'm sure they're upset. But he'll have his day in court, and he's going to have to face the consequences of what he did. So we have to move on.
100% will have his day in court. But when we first started talking about Safety Act, it was all about being released before your trial if you are not a threat to the community. Drunk driving, Chief Wheeler. It seems like something that is often reoccurring and something that is a threat to the community. Who's making the decision here?
Well, yeah, we have to look at his background too. I don't know what his background is. If he had prior DUIs, I'm sure that would play a factor that he would be a threat. And I think the judge would hold him that way. I'll put a prime example is we had, a burglary suspect that was released, about a week and a half ago, and just, committing a burglary is not good, and he got caught and charged, and we tried to hold him and we couldn't, but then he, started causing chaos again in our city. So we ended up, chasing him down again. He barricaded himself into an apartment. We were able to get him out of the apartment unharmed. And this time they're holding him. So he, the state's attorney, spoke to the judge and said, he's got a pending charge of burglary, and went on that, just recently Taylorville police again 2 times in 1 week chased him. He got away. Actually, one time, and then on Friday, we caught up to him again. He ran. He barricaded himself into an apartment. We, waited him out, got in there and got him. And the judge, said, hey, this guy is definitely a threat to the city. So I'm happy that he's in custody. But it's tough. It's just a revolving door. It truly is. It's just a revolving door, and the guys go in jail, and the judges have to follow the rule of law, the state attorney has to follow the rule of law, and then they come right back out, and our guys get frustrated, and we have to chase them again.
It has to be that repeating of the same process over and over, and arresting someone for maybe the same thing. It has to do something to the mind of an officer.
It does. It's frustrating because you get a call, you get a burglary, and then you're like, well, this guy. It could be this guy. He matches the description, the video. If we have video, that's him again. Oh, let's go after him again. Yeah, it's frustrating. I think it's going to have to change. It can't go on like this. It just can't.
Absolutely not. And especially after this recent case with a DeKalb officer getting killed. Was he in the line of duty? Was he currently on his shift?
Yes. Yeah. She was, and it was a female, and it's just unfortunate. It's tragic, but it's just things will be amended. I'm part. I work with the Police Chiefs Association tightly, and I've been to the Capitol fighting for us, and the Republicans and Democrats, they, it's always a battle, but we have to just stop, put the politics away, and say, well, let's look at some common sense here. I mean, enough's enough. I mean, we're chasing these guys all the time.
Still learning and still adapting to the Safety Act. And as you said right there, you expect amendments to come in the future to try to remedy these situations, because it's just not working in communities like this.
No, it's just not anywhere. I mean, it's just the same thing. You catch a guy, I don't care if you're in the city of Chicago or city of Chicago or Rockford or wherever, big cities, Aurora, it doesn't matter. Small, large, it's still the law. And you're chasing these same people.
They're not finding the effects that they thought they would in the bigger cities with this legislation, kind of how it was aimed to work with those more populated cities. They're not finding those positive numbers.
Oh, no. I mean, they're frustrated. I know several, CBD officers, because I come from up north, and they're like, listen, we arrest these guys, and they're hardcore gangbangers, and they're back on the corners the next day. I mean, it's just, and then they're chasing them again and again. So it's got to, I think at the end, the ones that made this bill up, I mean, some of these bills that are sitting right now are just, I'm not getting into it, but they're just ridiculous, and I hope they don't have any traction to them. But I read them daily, and I see them, and it's just it's like there's no way this should pass. But some are making ground, and some are not. And I always want to keep on top of the legislation, because it affects the city and also affects my officers. And I want to keep them safe and keep them, the morale high, and that's my job. So, but we're doing it. The guys understand it, and we have to chase them 2 or 3 times. So we're going to do it to keep the city safe.
Taylorville police up for the task and working with this Safety Act, and often having to repeat what they've already done. So it's just a tough situation there. Switch gears just a little bit. A recent incident that happened at Taylorville High School. I'm not going to go any further. I want you to kind of describe the events of that day and where we stand now.
Yeah, social media really gets out of control. Things get spinned, and this one did, and it got a lot of people scared. And I don't blame them for being scared. And it's our job to be transparent as much as we can. And kudos to the principals at the schools, for me and Mr. McWard to go up there and talk to to all the staff, and let them know the true story of what's really going on, and try to put it at ease, and then let them go ahead and distribute it to the parents. It was a rough week for us. There's no question about it. The good news is, the person that we really had an issue with is detained and not going anywhere. So, we're happy with that. I can't tell you 100% that if someone's not plotting to do something today. I mean, people ask that. You can never be 100%.
You don't have a crystal ball over that.
No, you don't. We just got to we have a lot of like the schools have. We communicate very well together, and our job is to keep our kids safe. And if any type of threat, we're going to take it serious. And the social media, I tell these kids, be careful what you put on social media. It'll get you in trouble every single time. It'll get you in trouble if you make a threat, or even hint of a threat at a school or a gun. You're going to have the police knocking at your door. Don't do it.
And for good reason. I mean, no, a threat, a joke, it's not going to be taken as a joke. You guys are going to treat everything as serious as it seems. Now, to kind of put maybe some parents' minds at ease out there, talk to us a little bit about the safety that's involved at all the schools in Taylorville. There's resource officers, and this close relationship we're learning with principals and the police department. Yeah,
they're going to understand. Each school has memorial. High school and junior high. We have resource officers inside the school. But that's still not going to stop an active shooter. They're there. An active shooter, we've been in several classes. We understand that if it's a student, the student is going to try to take out the school officer first, of course, because he's armed. But also, I want the citizens to know that during the day, there's a lot of police officers out here. I mean, you got the administration, me and deputy chief, lieutenant, and then you got patrol, you got detectives. We have a lot of people. So if a call comes out of an active shooter, plus we had that emergency response team that mostly work during the day. And these guys and girls, we got really good equipment. And our response time will be very quick. So we'll get there and take out that threat immediately. And I promise you that.
It's great to hear about the fleet of professionals and law enforcement officials that would be on call immediately had anything go wrong at the high school. I mean, everyone is on call, and like you said, quick response time there. It's a small town there. You can get to the high school very fast, and that'll definitely ease some of the nerves of parents out there in Taylorville High School and all the other surrounding schools here in Taylorville, all covered by the Taylorville Police Department here. That's Chief Wheeler speaking. That's the Taylorville Chief of Police. We're going to speak more with him right after our short break. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back here on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly higher, beans lower, wheat trading higher. May corn up 2.5, 433 3/4. July corn up 2 1/4, 444 3/4. New crop December 469.5, up 1 1/4. May beans down 6 1/4, 1168 1/4. July beans down 6 1/4, 1181.5. And November new crop 1171 3/4, down 6.5. May wheat 563 up 5 1/4. July wheat up 6, 578. May bean meal 333.80 down $1.80. May bean oil 47.15 down 37 cents. Livestock market April feeders 239.95 down 75 cents. April live cattle down 45 cents, 180.25. April lean hogs 91.42 up 82 cents. Energy market, May crude oil up 13 cents, 85.36. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
Radio gets results.
Miller Media Group Advertising works for Taylorville Estates. Here's Administrator Tony Clark.
In the past year, we have doubled our census. So that's been impacted mainly by the radio advertising. That is where we do the majority of our advertising, and our census definitely shows that it works. They lead us in the right direction for the season changing, and they anticipate our upcoming needs before we even have to tell them what they are. We've had consistent growth over the past 12 months. Like I said, we've doubled in our census, and that's been the first time in 43 months since prior to COVID that we've gotten to where now we have a waiting list for people to come. So advertising on the radio really does have an impact.
The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation aims to foster, promote, and stimulate economic development, from keeping existing industry and retail businesses successful and thriving to attracting new investment in Shelby County. The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation is here to help your business grow. It also sponsors job fairs to fill positions at existing employers and encourages future entrepreneurs in the Shelby County CEO program. Find out more on the Shelby County Economic Development Corporation by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Here's Dr. Pavi Gill from Springfield Clinic, Taylorville.
Lifestyle medicine is about motivating you to improve your quality of life by changing habits and behaviors.
Find out more by clicking Dr. Gill's icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Your Christian County Health Department has both COVID and flu vaccines available, with both high-dose and regular-dose flu vaccines in stock. Call them. Make your appointment now. Get their number and more info by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. My name's Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks to the sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. We're speaking right now with Chief Wheeler, Taylorville Chief of Police. We, in that first half, talked a little bit about the Safety Act and school safety. Now we're going to shift gears just a little bit. I was reading a press release earlier from you guys about an ongoing investigation about someone who was caught with the intent to distribute methamphetamine. You guys are still looking for him out there.
Yeah, he's on the run. His name is Theodore Workman. You know, they know if they see him, give us a call, and I'll call Crime Stoppers, and we'll pick him up. You can run, but you can't hide. You know, we have other investigations going on right now. So if this person was a murder suspect or something really major, you know, of course, we would contact the U.S. Marshals to come down and we'll grab him real fast.
Yeah.
That's their job. I'm not too concerned about this gentleman. He'll get caught. He's got an active warrant. He knows he does. And if you're listening, just turn yourself in because you will get caught. There's no question about it. But we have other investigations we're working on, and he understands where he's at, and we understand where he's at. So it's just a matter of time.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for
it is. Yeah.
Bringing us up to date on that situation, right?
Yeah. Just turn yourself in and just you know, he understands what's going on. So,
absolutely does.
But we got other people we're looking at. So
okay, perfect. Speaking right now with Chief Wheeler, that's Taylorville's Chief of Police. Now, Chief Wheeler, we're going to switch gears one more time here because I've been seeing an uptick, and we spoke a little bit with Chief Deputy Jim Baker about it, but we've seen an uptick in sex crimes throughout the county. Talk to us just a little bit about this. Why are we seeing this?
You know, me and the State's Attorney, Mr. McWhorter, we spoke about this the other day. You know, we were on another case we were talking about. And, you know, where he came from, Saginaw County, he says, you know, we have a lot of sex cases in Christian County, maybe even more than that county. It's not, I mean, it's just terrible. But what happens is with these sex crimes, you know, I'm glad we're getting these people off the streets. We truly are. There's people out there right now that we don't know about. And that's why the citizens, if they think that this person might be a pedophile or doing some bad things, you know, please let us know because we're going to take action right away. But also, you know, we do run into cases where, you know, we have really good technology at our police department where we used to have to send off our cell phones to to a crime lab and wait 4 or 5 months for them to come back and see what's on them. But we can do it ourselves now. We got trained officers that can go into this machine and after we get a search warrant, go ahead and get into someone's phone. And we do that with every person we arrest, mostly with drugs, okay? Drug dealers we do. The reason why we do that for drug dealers is to get evidence related that we can give to the state's attorney to show that this person's a drug dealer. So it's a great tool to have. But what happens too is, you know, we run into maybe some child porn on these phones. And now it went from a drug case to a sex case. Which, you know, that wasn't, you know, our investigations when it was narcotics. So we don't know what's going through people's minds. We don't. And lately it seems like it's been a huge uptick, or we've been, you know, kicking the rocks so much that we're getting them. But I just want the citizens, please let us know if you think this person, your neighbor, or whoever, or a relative, or this or that. I don't care if it's just I don't know, if you heard it, you know, just call us and let us know and let us look into it because this we can't have.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. And
you mentioned, it's just sort of really, really great things to bring up right there. And get in contact with the Taylorville Police Department if you see or hear anything. I mean, no problem, too small. It's the kind of thing you guys.
No, I mean, you know, people call in a rumor and we take that serious too. You know, we're going to check this person out. We're going to make sure. You know, if this person's a pedophile, he is not going to be walking our streets. There's no way.
And absolutely. And with this intent to take over the drug dealers and finding their phones and then dumping their phones, it's the process of that. And they're exposing themselves in the process. It's just been an unbelievable way you guys have been finding the sex crimes. And I think your use of technology is kind of why we've seen that uptick. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. You know, well, one thing about, you know, I could say, you know, with our city officials, you know, technology is very big on my radar, and also several other officers that we have, and especially with this community action team, we want the best of the best technology for the city, and we look for grants and we go out there and get them, and we try to and we get good quality technology. We have flock cameras all over the city. You can't leave the city without us knowing it, which is great, or come into the city. We have, like I said, we got the Celebrate systems, in our detective divisions. We can dump phones. So
All right.
it's we got for a city of this size, we the citizens should know that we have a lot of great technology.
Absolutely. Chief Wheeler, thank you for taking the time being here with us today.
You're welcome.
That was Chief Dwayne Wheeler of the Taylorville Police Department. I'm Tim Zalabak. You're listening to the WTIM, your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.